Sir, I have one question.
What?
How do you get huge?
Steroids.
So the Eddie answer was not really optimal. I did think of some things that are actually a good answer for how to get huge. Eating a ton, working out hard, and just staying consistent, taking your time. I'm gonna go through and talk through those points in this video. I'm gonna say lots of stuff. That's me, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So the first point is eating a lot. How exactly do you eat a lot? I have a couple little ideas. The first of which is that you have to slowly work your way up. You cannot just expect to force feed yourself 4,000 calories off the start. I think if you started to track your macros, you'd be surprised at how little you eat. You're probably eating like 1,500 calories, honestly, maybe even 1,000. If you are not eating enough right now, it's gonna be really tough to push your way into like a bodybuilding level diet. You just have to slowly work your way up. It's a week by week kind of thing. Number two is that you have to expect to be a little uncomfortable. And by this I just mean there will be times when you really do not want to eat and you just have to eat anyway. I mean, it's the nature of the beast, you know, and you will get to a point where that's not true. So don't feel like you're just gonna be force feeding yourself forever and hating what you eat forever. It's not how it works. You will get to a point where your metabolism can handle it, but there will definitely be times when you are uncomfortable eating what you're eating. And then the third point would be that timing is everything. So by this, I just mean that you're gonna need to remember when you ate last and when it's time to eat again. Looking at the clock is gonna actually be a part of your day as far as eating. Also, I would suggest maybe getting up a little earlier. If you're somebody that sleeps in super late, you're gonna need more time overall throughout the day to actually cram in the amount of food that you want to eat. So I really did at one point set timers for every 2 hours. When it would go off, it was time to eat again. It really sucks sometimes and you will not feel like eating when the timer goes off, but the clock is going to be your friend sometimes. You just got to do the work and actually just eat when the clock says it's time to eat. Eddie just said, I don't really force feed anymore, and that's 100% true.
Yeah, 100%.
You will get to a point where your metabolism has been trained and it doesn't feel like you're actually like force feeding. So just look forward to that and know that it's not always gonna be horrible. So the second tip on how to get huge would be to work out hard. So there's 3 little sub points I would make underneath this point. The first of which is to focus on your compound lifts. I've talked about this already in my bulking series. I did a playlist which I will link at the end of this video, but essentially just focus on your bench press, your squat, and your deadlift. If you're a beginner especially, focus on getting these lifts consistent and really quality form, and it's gonna prove to do a lot for your metabolism as far as eating more and your overall strength. Number 2 would be to focus on getting stronger, and of course that goes hand in hand with your compound lifts, but it goes hand in hand with all your accessory stuff too. Just try to get stronger, work on progressive overload, always working with heavier weights if you can, always control the weight, but do definitely focus on getting stronger. That's gonna aid so much in getting you bigger. I just wanna add on to something that can be a foreign concept to someone who is new to lifting, or even people that are more advanced, is really quality mechanics. And what I mean by this is just making sure that your body is perfectly in tune with each motion, that you're making every single muscle do exactly what you want it to do. If you want a reference on how to get your mechanics perfect, I would watch Nick Walker work out. He has absolutely phenomenal mechanics and it could probably help you learn a lot to watch him. And then the third point would be to focus on focusing.
I can't do this. My mind.
Yes, you can.
It won't take it.
You're just a little rusty.
You don't understand.
And I know this sounds kind of funny, but bear with me here. You need to learn how to get the proper mentality in the gym. It's really easy to kind of just waltz around in the gym and do what you see other people doing and not really be there mentally. What I mean by this is you just need to understand what you're doing before you walk into the gym, have a plan, and then execute it. I listened to this awesome podcast by Evan Centopani where he said he works on having a calm intensity when he works out. Basically just keeping your head in the zone, don't waste your energy on anything except the actual workouts that you're doing. We talk about the key being consistency a lot, but it needs to be consistently good. It can't just be consistent. So remember to try to make every workout as effective as possible by keeping your head in the game. You know, when I first started bartending, I didn't like a lot about it, but there are definitely aspects about it that I do like. For instance, making these lemon twists. I find it very artistic. And this brings me to my third point, which is that when it comes to getting huge, you have to take your time. You have to give everything time. You have to give the diet time, you have to give the gym time. And it really is an art. You have to learn aspects of those different portions of getting huge that you love, and it might not be all of it. But pick out things that you are passionate about, portions of the journey that you love, and that will help you with your longevity. Learn to love the progress that you make. Stop comparing yourself and thinking that you should be making the progress other people are making. Just fall in love with the minuscule gains that you're making and let that be what gives you your longevity, because the ultimate way to make progress and to get huge is to take your time. And listen, all these greats that you see, Chris Bumstead, Rich Piana, all the guys that you see on the Olympia stage, you know, these guys took their time too. It wasn't immediate. So, you know, just understand that nothing is quick. Being patient is going to be your friend when it comes to getting huge. I wanted to mention one more thing, and that is just the aspect of starting with a subpar physique. If you're really realistic with yourself, if you have a physique that's anything like mine, you're starting from behind the 8 ball, at least as someone like me who started at 129 pounds, subpar insertions, subpar genetics overall. And I'm not trying to say that I have a horrible physique now. I've definitely made some crazy gains, and I think it's totally doable. But I think as far as the mindset goes, you definitely need to understand that you're really starting with less than other people, so you should always have the mindset that you need to push it even harder than other people do. I have the same mindset about guys that are on PEDs too. I look at the culture of bodybuilding, I see all these guys that are on steroids, and quite frankly, you know, you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as, oh, I can never be that good, why even try? Or you can look at it as, I need to push myself even harder than those guys do. Because guess what? They recover faster, so I need to push at 150%. And that's just a mindset that you have to get your head in. As somebody who is a skinny guy, just understand you're starting from behind the 8 ball, you're starting with less, so you gotta push even harder. And please don't misunderstand that as being a Debbie Downer or me saying that this is impossible by any means. I mean, look at my transformation. I have gone from 129 to 185 pounds, and I now do have a physique that kind of stands out from others, but it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of focus and just understanding that you are starting with less. So get in that headspace and it's gonna prove to do really well for you. All right, welcome to Fit Tip 3. In this one, I'm focusing on rear delts. So rear delts have proven to be a very difficult muscle for me to develop over the years, and so some of these workouts have been really helpful with isolating the rear delt. I feel like people leave rear delts out a lot, but it helps a lot with posture, especially for skinny guys. Helps to kind of round out that back a lot. This first workout is a rear delt dumbbell fly. I'm gonna pause the video and just show you how much I'm trying to push my chest out before I even lay down on the bench here. That tends to be a recurring theme on this one. You wanna push your chest out as much as possible. It helps to engage the rear delts a lot. You also wanna try and keep your traps out of it if possible. It's very difficult to do. And bring your elbows up towards your ears. You don't wanna be flying backwards at like a 45-degree angle. You wanna try and bring your elbows out forward if possible. But that is a really nice way to hit rear delts there. And then this is kind of a variation of a cable crossover. I do have the cable about 45 degrees above me there so that the arm is traveling downward. When you do this motion, you want to kind of be in the scapular plane if possible. And you also want to avoid bending your elbow. Your triceps will definitely take over if you do that. So try and make sure that it is all rear delts. Again, keep your traps out of it if possible as well. You want to keep this controlled. I have a shot of me here in a t-shirt just so you can kind of see what that rear delt looks like when it's nice and filled out. Really aids in what your posture looks like. Appreciate you guys for watching the videos I post every Friday. I'll see you next week.